Good morning, everybody. What is going on? I am jeffgrantMEDIA, and today's real user review, we are talking about the GORUCK Rucker 3.0 pack. As you can see, it is a little dark. We're outdoors, a little different. That's because we're actually out here rucking, a little out of breath because I was running, and I had to stop where there's light so I could see. So we are actually out here showing you how I am using the Rucker 3.0, but first, I purchased my Rucker 3.0 directly from GORUCK with my own money because I wanted it. I am in no way affiliated with GORUCK. I'm not being paid to say anything positive or negative about this pack. I just wanted to change my workouts because I'm a distance runner, and sometimes when you're just running for like hours, it gets boring, so I wanted to change it up. Also, I wanted to get a better workout in. So with that said, let's go to where we can actually see the bag that we're talking about. And now that we can actually see what we're looking at and talking about, we're gonna go ahead and start the actual review portion of the video. And as always, we're gonna start with the negatives, roll into the neutrals, go into the positives, and then our final summation of what we think about the product. So here we can see I have the red and black colorway GORUCK Rucker 3.0. Yes, I liked this colorway. I went with it. It was between this and the MCB. They both got in stock at the same time. It just so happened that I got the email alert about the red first, and I went in for that, bought it, and then the next day I got the MCB. But because I work out at like 5 o'clock in the morning, ultimately I'm kind of happy I got the black and red because it's just a little bit brighter, a little bit more for people to see when I'm out there on the side of the road and it's still pitch black out. Yes, we do have a reflective band, we have our reflectors, but having the extra red, especially the red webbing on the shoulder straps, really helped. So yes, I did choose the red and black colorway. No, it wasn't just the last option, because I do know some people don't like this colorway. So that's kind of one of our segments into our first negative, and it's the colorway. A lot of people tend to, I see, not like the black and red because the red webbing is pretty bright. But I actually do like it, so I'm not gonna say it's a negative of the bag. My first negative is actually the sternum straps right here. If you watched my unboxing video, the bag came with a red sternum strap that matched the webbing, but it also came with this extra black one. And I swapped it out just to break up the webbing a little bit. Yes, I want the red for high vis, but I figured this would just help to break up just all that red. So I swapped it, and when I did, boy oh boy, was that a pain in the butt. I did actually end up putting it back on the same loop that it was on. That was perfect for me, but people note, and in the GORUCK Tribe Facebook group, and I think I saw this on the Reddit group too, they say this is a bit of a rite of passage trying to put one of these sternum straps on their bag because this was a pain. This took me probably a half an hour to remove and put on the black one. So when you are putting on or moving your sternum strap, figure out what loop you want it on before you move it, because it is super, super difficult to actually remove and put these back on. It's harder to put them back on than it is to take them off. And because it's such a pain, I'm not going to display it for you. You are just going to have to do and learn that on your own, because I do not want to have to deal with taking this off and putting it back on. It was a hassle. So positive is it's never going to move. Negative is if you want it to move to a different location, it's going to be a headache. So figure out where you want it, put it there first, because it's not easy to adjust these. And to be honest, that is where my negatives end for this bag. Because this bag is purpose built to be a rucksack to do ruck workouts with, the way this bag is built, or should I say overbuilt, is for that purpose. Now, I do know people do buy these and use these as an EDC pack because they're cheaper. They're cheaper than buying a GR1. A GR1 will run you $325, where the 20-liter versions of the Rucker 3.0 come in at $185, where the 25-liter versions of the bag come in at $215. So it's actually a substantial difference in price if you go with a Rucker over a GR1. Now, they're pretty comparable in size. The Rucker comes in 20 and 25 liters. The GR1 comes in 21 or 26 liters, and the overall layout is the same in the bag. So people tend to go with the Ruckers because they're cheaper. So If you're buying this as an EDC, some of the points I'm about to list in neutrals may actually be negatives, and a couple of them would be for me. But because this bag is purpose built as a workout sack, like a workout rucksack, they're actually, I'm not putting them as negatives because they work out great as are intended, so they're actually might be relisted again in some of the positives. But we're gonna start right there with what I'm holding on to, and it is these handles. So there's an extra handle just on each side of the bag and on the bottom. And for a general purpose EDC, yes, some EDCs have side handles. Personally, I don't like the side handles on an EDC bag. I think that would completely just get in the way. So I wouldn't like to have these handles, especially the bottom one, because that would really inhibit the ability when you're trying to set it down to stand up on its own. So the handles, top grab handle, perfect. Want that on just about every single backpack I own. Side and bottom handles, if I was using this as an EDC, I would not want them there. So you're trading off the savings again from the GR1 into a Rucker, but you're gonna get these handles, and then the other one is actually the grommets that are on the bottom of the bag. If you've been following along at any of my other videos, you will find out that I do not like grommets on bags, at least on the bottom of the bag for the internal compartment. It's a bad idea on an EDC pack or like a hiking pack because it's going to allow moisture to come into the bag when you set it down on the ground. However, again, this is a purpose-built bag, so if you are doing a GORUCK event, some of them involve climbing around in water. You want that for the drainage. That's going to allow the water to drain out. Yes, this is not a waterproof pack, so the water will eventually drain, but if you're doing an event, you don't want to carry around all of that extra water inside your bag. So having them there for a Rucker is great. Having them there for an EDC pack, that's would be a no-go for me. Not a deal breaker. I have owned some bags that have grommets on the bottom that I really like the pack. So the grommet isn't a deal breaker, but it's something that I don't like to see in an EDC pack. On this bag, I definitely like that they're there because I am using this as a rucksack. I actually did not EDC this bag at all. So moving on to the next and probably final neutral point is the straps. They are thick, they are beefy, they do not have a lot of flex. So if I were to be using this as an EDC, they would probably be pretty uncomfortable until they break in, and I can say using a GR1 as an EDC, they're not completely uncomfortable, but they are stiff and they are going to take some time to break in. So if I were EDCing this pack, I'd probably want these straps to just be a little bit less robust because it's just a little more uncomfortable until they break in. It's going to take a while, but as a bag that I'm working out in, carrying weight, because as you see this bag is tipping, there is a ruck plate in here right now. I definitely want and love this extra padding. It's great, and that's where we're gonna just lead right into the positives, and that's going to be how thick and padded these shoulder straps are. For having this as a rucksack, working out with it, these shoulder straps are great. They are thick, they are beefy, they really, really work well when you're running with the pack, because yes, I'm not doing my full runs, I'm not doing like distance like 6-10 miles in them, and I'm not doing my full speed. I'm definitely more jogging than running. But these shoulder straps, carrying weight in the bag, they are incredibly comfortable. I was actually very, very surprised at how comfortable this pack was to run in. I thought it was going to feel very awkward if you've ever run with a backpack on. It's not the most comfortable thing, they sway a lot, but this pack stays in place pretty good, and these shoulder straps are very comfortable even with weight inside the bag. Sticking with that same theme, these handles are very nice. They actually have a fair amount of foam in them, so they're actually very comfortable in the hand. At first, I wasn't sure if it was padding or if it was just this black folded over, but yes, there is a piece of padding in there in all four straps. So no matter what type of exercise you're doing, they actually work really, really, really well. I mean, you're still holding weight, so it's still gonna kind of, you feel that it's digging into like the thumb area, but it is so much more comfortable than if this was just a piece of webbing. So this padding is actually, it's really great, and I don't think I've really lost any of it. I don't think it's compressed much at all, and I've been rucking with this pack now for probably about a month and a half, maybe a little bit longer, maybe close to 2 months, and I don't feel like they've broken it at all. And I've used all 4 handles depending upon what workout I'm doing. I have used all of the handles. They all still feel great. They're very robust. They all feel about the same, so I don't think they squish down at all. So even after a couple of weeks of pretty decent usage, because I'm using this 2 to 3 times a week, I do still just go for straight runs because I do have a half marathon coming up in the fall, so I'm still training for that for distance endurance, but I am using this quite a bit, and they're all still really, really good. They all feel great, and they're awesome when you're working out. Now, another thing that is kind of a big deal with the 3.0 is going to be the back of this bag. Now, the whole back and the back of the shoulder straps of this bag have been done with this 210D HT Cordura. So this is supposed to be a lot nicer and easier on the skin. As you can see, I'm wearing a bright green shirt, but the back of my shirt tends to come up at the bottom, and the 210D HT backing is rubbing on my bare skin, and it's fine. It's not abrasive at all. It feels comfortable. I honestly completely forgot about it. Had all intentions of mentioning that in my little blurb earlier, but it's so comfortable I totally forgot about it. I can feel it now that I'm consciously thinking. I can feel the backing of the back rubbing on my back, but it's not uncomfortable by any means. It doesn't really feel any different than rubbing on my t-shirt, and it doesn't tear up my workout shirts at all either. I have not ruined a single workout shirt, at least from the back. I mean, I've ruined workout shirts because, well, they're meant to get down and dirty and disgusting in, but I haven't like torn up the back. I haven't peeled the back of any of my shirts wearing this bag. So the actual backing is very comfortable. If I were ripped and I wanted to work out without a shirt on, I have no worries that this bag would be totally comfortable to do that in. In addition to the back panel, they've also added this lumbar padding to the bottom of it. This is a GR1 21 liter. This is a Rucker 3.0 20 liter. So these are pretty comparable in size. And you can see that there's actually a lot of a bump down here on the Rucker, where on the GR1, it is smooth, it's flat, there's no lumbar panel. So this lumbar panel is actually very, very comfortable. You can feel this when you are wearing it and rucking, and yes, it does feel very, very nice on the lower back, especially when you're also carrying a sandbag and that's resting across the top of the bag. It really kind of pushes the bag down and in, and it feels really good on the lower portion of the back. And lastly, with the 3.0 version, the frame sheet comes all the way to the edges around the back of the bag, all the way from the top to the bottom. I guess on the 2.0, the frame sheet didn't come quite to the edges and it had a tendency to roll and became uncomfortable, where this frame sheet is actually the whole back and bottom of the pack, and it's very comfortable. I have not had any issues using this bag with weight. Sticking with the outside of the bag, this reflective strip, it actually works really, really well, and it looks very incognito when it's not being reflective, because it blends with the bag very nice. It's just black, but when it actually hits, lights hit it or flashes hit it, it's quite bright. So that, in addition to the reflectors that I've added to it, because these do not come with it, I bought these and put these on, as well as the carabiner. It's a carabiner I had, so I stuck that on there. The high vis of the pack is great. So combine that with the red, I think I'm pretty easily seen, especially when I'm out there at 5 in the morning and it's still quite dark. Even when that sun's coming up over the horizon and it's starting to brighten up, I like that I still have this reflective strip on the back of my bag, the red webbing, and these bright green reflectors, because I feel like even then, people are still maybe just waking up. Maybe it's a trucker coming home, ending a shift, and they're a little tired, so I feel like still having this high-vis stuff, even when the sun is starting to come up, is really great. It's gonna catch someone's eye, especially if they see a reflection or these lime green things bouncing around as I'm running down the side of the road. I like having that there. I feel like just a better sense of security having it. And I really like the way that this just blends with the pack. It's another aesthetic feature I think is great, because it blends really well. You wouldn't know this is a reflective strip until you actually see light hit it. but it works really, really well, and it blends really, really well when it's not in use. Now, another feature of the outside of the bag is great, and that is actually this top grab handle. It's really hard to get apart, but it actually unvelcros here because this is where you would feed your water bladder tube through, and it is such a strong Velcro. Even when you're using this bag doing kettlebell swings, holding it by the top handle, it does not come undone. I had not had this Velcro come apart at all during any of my workouts. The back side is actually still sewn to the top of the bag. That does not come apart. It doesn't unvelcro all the way through, but the Velcro itself is even so strong that it's hard to even separate it, just to show you that that's actually access for a water bladder tube. So even though it comes apart, you have zero worries of this handle failing on you while you're doing like kettlebell swings with the rucksack. And now moving to the inside of the pack, you can see what I'm carrying, and that is a Nalgene style bottle. When this is full of water, it's a 32 ounce, it weighs about 2 pounds. I have my Pelican R20 dustproof, crush-proof case. I put my cell phone in here when I'm just doing workouts. There's plenty of room in here for me to put anything extra in here, like money or credit cards, ID. If I do a ruck event or anything like that, don't want to carry my wallet, I can stick my whole wallet in here. There's still plenty of room. This weighs a little over 1 pound. And then we have, this also has pretty stiff, really good, like industrial grade Velcro. This is the pocket for a ruck plate. Now I will say this is a 20-pound ruck plate, the one that fits in the Rucker. I like it, it's great. I kind of wish I got a 30-pounder though. So I do wish I got a 30. I am not the strongest person in the world, which is why I went with a 20 to start. But I do have a fairly high endurance for walking because I run quite a bit and I do marathons. So just having this on my back, if I was just holding this in my arms, 20 pounds would probably be great to use as like a kettlebell for me right now. But on my back, I wish I had 30 pounds. But it is incredibly secure inside this pocket. Now the pocket and weight are purpose-built for each other. This is, again, the weight that goes in the Rucker, so it fits in here perfectly. And you can fit the 20 or 30 pound ruck plate inside the 20-liter Rucker, inside the actual purpose-built ruck plate pocket. And once it's in here, there's no wiggle. It suspends it. It's hard to see because it's black, but this is where the ruck plate ends, and then this, probably another 4 inches, is the bottom of the bag. So it's suspended. It comes to right about the top of the lumbar supports. The plate comes to right about here, so you're sitting from about here to here with your ruck plate, so it's suspended right in your back. So as it's pushing down, you can kind of see it. It kind of wants to pull forward, and it's pushing this lumbar out a little bit. So it actually helps to push the lumbar into your back to give you that extra support. So it's very, very comfortable to wear, even with, again, a 20-pound ruck plate, 2 pounds of water, another pound so of your phone and odds and ends. So the pack itself, I don't know how much it weighs, but it's probably close to carrying maybe 25 pounds on your back with just this simple setup that I have. And then additionally, inside the bag, we have this nice, hard to see because I'm wearing a black shirt, metal D-ring. This is great. This is what you would hang your water bladder off, and there's a pocket here in front of the ruck plate where you would put your water bladder through. So you have a nice metal D-ring, because if this was plastic, the ruck plate in here, having anything weight in here, doing a vent, everything bouncing out would just crack this, it would just be gone. I personally like that rather than just having a loop. I don't like just the loop. I hate when bags just put like a little piece of like webbing in there or paracord. I find that to be completely unuseful. Having an actual D-ring is great, and this one being made of metal is just that much better. So I haven't carried a water bladder in here. I don't actually drink a lot of water while I'm rucking, so I kind of carry this more for weight than for actual liquid.
I do drink, I will open the bag up and take a sip out of it, but because I've kind of just trained for doing endurance races where there's only a small water break every like 3 to 5 miles, I don't really drink a lot unless I'm doing long distances. But if I were to ruck a couple of miles, more than like the 3 or 4 that I've been, I will definitely get a water bladder and put that in here. Now, as far as the front pockets go, I don't actually have anything in here right now, nor the outside pocket. I do use these right now in my GR1, and I love the mesh. I really like the mesh pocket. It's not a stretchy mesh, but it's soft, and so when you're rubbing on the back of your hand, it's not gonna tear up your hand when you're in your digging for something, and I like that I could see through it. Personally, I think I would prefer to have 2 mesh pockets instead of the Cordura top pocket. I don't like having the solid pocket. You just can't see what's in there. If you want to grab something quick, you can't see what's in there. So I wish this was also a mesh pocket. So I guess I should have added that into my neutral points. It's not a deal breaker, but I wish it was a mesh.
Okay, today's workout consisted of about 1.25 miles run, walk, ruck to the Pee Wee football field, where I did kettlebell swings, lunges, overhead lunges, and squats holding the ruck out in front of me, followed by a 400-meter fast ruck. 1 minute of cool down, 4 rounds. Now, I start my workout a little before 5 a.m., so it's pitch black, and it's like 20 to 6. It's still pretty dark out. So I did demonstrate my exercises in the parking lot area underneath the street light, but I did the workout actually in the grass. Now, the run walk, I don't know if you can tell right now, but I'm walking up a big hill. I live at the top of a big hill. I come down it, and I make a system of coming up and down all these hills to get a good workout in, to get to the football field, because the football field's only about probably half a mile from my house. So I zigzag, go up and down hills to get there, make it longer, make it harder. With that said, the backpack itself is incredibly comfortable to wear the entire time, even with weight in it. Holding the straps to do the exercises is great, but the comfort on this thing, even running, bouncing with weight on my back, weight on my shoulders, bouncing around, it's been completely fine. It feels great. Just out of breath because I ran and I walked up a big hill. Probably should have thought about that before I was going to talk to the camera, but the pack, it fits good. It's seated good on my back. This is the perfect torso length for me. Now, one thing I'll say with doing the kettlebell swings, if I had a 25-liter bag, it would be taller. I look a little awkward doing kettlebell swings with the bag because if I bend over all the way, if I'm using an actual kettlebell, I have better form, but I can't do it because the bag will just drag on the ground or it'll hit me in the nether regions. So I kind of have to modify my kettlebell swings a little bit when I'm doing the ruck. When I use kettlebells, I do have better form. And when you're doing overhead lunges, make sure you have the straps facing up, because this happens, and it's quite annoying when you have the straps of the backpack dangling, especially if you're wearing glasses and they're just bouncing off your lenses. It's a bit annoying. So just flip that bag so the PALS webbing is facing down, the straps are facing up to the sky, and you don't have that problem at all. It's just more comfortable to do the workout, to do the exercise. Overall, do I like the Rucker 3.0? I think you could tell I do. I really like this pack. I have not EDC'd this bag. I have been working out in this bag. I've been sweating all over this bag. I've been throwing this down on the ground for at least a month and a half. And honestly, the only real signs of wear is a little bit dirty. And that's it. The front of the bag, it looks fine. Like, it, even if I show you, like, there's where it would have wore from having the reflective strip in the way. You can't tell where the reflective strip was if you just look at the webbing. It's in such great shape. Now, yeah, it's black, but mud is, it shows on everything. In this bag, it shows, and it's in great shape. There's a little bit too, I'm noticing now, there's a little bit of mud on the shoulder strap. It's even hard to see. It's hard to see by the eyes. It's even hard to see with the camera. There's just a little bit of mud, but overall, this pack still looks in great shape. And I have, again, only
use this to work out in. I have not EDC'd this bag. The only time this bag was in my car, I had it shipped to work, so the only time this bag was in my car was when I brought it home from work the day I received it in the mail. Other than that, it has been sitting on the floor, or sitting on the floor in the floor of my mudroom, or on the floor of my shed next to my sandbag. So this thing, it looks great. It's still so comfortable. Now, if you own a GORUCK, are interested in GORUCK, you are well aware that they are stiff bags. They take a long time to break in. But again, I've been rucking in this for several times a week for almost 2 months, and the shoulder straps, they're still nowhere near broken in. Like, if you were to grab this right now, throw this on your back, you would think this is brand new. That's how stiff the shoulder straps still are on this thing. And I've done all sorts of workouts with this thing. Running in it, I sweat quite a bit, so it got pretty sweaty. Doing all of the different workouts that I have with this bag, and to get those, I just go to GORUCK's website generally, and they have some training videos. I just watch those, and I kind of build my own workout routine from what I'm seeing them do, but it helps me visualize what the exercise is and gets me ideas of what kind of exercise to do. So there's almost an unlimited amount of exercises you can do with the GORUCK bag, and add a sandbag in there, and you're really getting a full body workout. These things are great. I am incredibly satisfied with the purchase of my Rucker 3.0. The only thing I wish I'd done different, is I wish I got a 30-pound weight instead of a 20-pound weight. But this was my first GORUCK bag, period. I'd never had one. I always liked them, but I always thought the $325 price tag was crazy high. I always thought it was completely unworth it for that. And it turns out there's a reason they're that expensive, because they're that good. When you buy a bag from GORUCK, it's most likely going to last you the rest of your life. And the Rucker 3.0 included, it falls under the SCAR's lifetime warranty. So if this bag fails, breaks, rips, tears in any way, they're gonna fix it or replace it. So literally, I can have this bag for the next 10 years. And as long as GORUCK is a business, something happens to it, they're gonna fix it or replace it. So part of that high dollar price tag is the warranty that you're getting. They're gonna put a GORUCK SCAR's patch on there because you earned it. Well, if you broke it and not, a squirrel down the road chewed through the cordura and they had to put a patch on it, you might not get the SCAR's patch for that. But if you generally use this bag, abuse this bag, and wear this bag out on your own, you're also going to get a cool patch to go with the fact that you beat the shit out of your pack so much that GORUCK decided that, yeah, we're going to fix this thing and make it better. So all in all, I mean, I can't compare the 3.0 to the past two versions back because I didn't have them, but the 3.0 is incredibly comfortable. I love this pack. It's great. I think moving forward, the only change I'm going to make is probably this winter, I'm going to order 8. I think I just broke my table throwing the bag down, but the bag is fine. This winter, I'm probably going to go ahead and order a 30-pound weight just to have more weight to carry around with me, because I definitely feel like I'm getting stronger. I know I don't look it, but I am, in fact, getting stronger. So yeah, that's going to be the only change I would have made and will make, is I'm going to get a heavier weight for this pack. So all in all, if you are thinking about a GORUCK bag, the Rucker 3.0, I definitely say go for it. It is an incredible value for your money. Yes, $185 or $215, depending upon what size bag you get, is a lot of money. And I should say these are also made in Vietnam. They're not made in America like most of the GR1s are. But it's still under the same warranty, and it feels just as durable as any other pack that I've made that's made in America. This thing is great. I highly recommend it. I think this is an amazing pack. Even if you're going to EDC this bag because you want to get the Rucker because it's a little bit cheaper, it's still going to be a great pack. It's incredibly comfortable, so just be warned that these shoulder straps are going to be stiff for a very long time. So when you get it, use the hell out of it, break it in, because once it's broken in, you're probably gonna have a buddy for life. So if you like this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications next time I post a brand new video. Good night.
is a short but steep hill coming up.